we've not touched on barbering yet, and obviously you're one of the up and coming best barbers, obviously in the UK.
Mate, that's the only reason that I'm on this podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. And you've got a really nice sponsor by Tesco, haven't you?
Yeah, Wet Look. Tesco's
Tesco
Wet
Wet
Look
Look.
gel. I made a little because the shop's uppercut ambassador shop. One day it was quiet in the shop, and I thought, because they make these like product adverts, and they're always the same, and they have this music in the background, and I was like, I could do a shitty version of one of those. So I went to Tesco and bought some Wet Look gel. It cost like 50p, the blue stuff. And I made this like 10-second uppercut deluxe advert-esque of Wet Look gel. And I ended up with a full tub of Wet Look gel in my ear, and my scalp was the itchiest thing ever, man.
So funny.
How do people used to use that?
That was me before I went to the year 6 school disco.
With your flame shirt on.
Getting the spiders going.
Can I clip the video?
Yeah.
Put it on.
I'll find it and send it to you.
So I'm going to clip the video now so you can check it.
We should have used that for the advert.
Anyway, we're back now. We shouldn't have used that for the advert because the advert's sick this week.
Yeah, true.
And you know, Chris and Josh have got dead trims.
Josh is bold.
No, I'm saying they do dead trims. They don't do
Oh.
dead trims. That's disrespectful. They don't. No, he does my hair, Chris, innit? He's
Josh
a
does
lovely
mine.
guy. Yeah. Yours is dead.
Yeah, so I've got an hat on.
But yeah, so obviously barbering, massive, and obviously we've seen some mad hairstyles in the past year and a half due to lockdown.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you what your most favourite lockdown trim was, like trend, and what your least favourite was.
So I'd probably say like people that just left their hair to grow was the best, because it's literally a blank canvas. Like, it doesn't get any more blank than having all the hair, and then they're the best haircuts you can do. Like, that's the best haircut that person's gonna get, because you can literally cut every single hair on that head perfectly, and the hair's gonna sit right. But like, when someone gets their haircut every 2 weeks, you're constantly working against yourself, trying to get it.
I feel personally attacked.
It's good to get your haircut every 2 weeks, and it
pays your bills.
You're never gonna notice a difference. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, having that like long hair as a blank canvas. And then the worst ones are people that shave their heads, man, because they just come in and get back
You
inside.
just
Ryan
bicked your
Gardner.
head. Absolutely bicked your head during
Sit there,
lockdown.
back and sides. I'm like buzzing.
The
Easy 20 quid.
The amount of lads I've seen recently, like people that I've known previously, who've just got bicked heads now, just because they've got used to that buzz cut in lockdown. Now it's just constant, like they've just bicked their head.
Yeah,
Like, instantly, Ryan Garg and Jack Foley and Jack Briggs all did it. Like,
Yeah, they did.
Jack
I
Briggs
didn't do
looked
it.
terrifying with a fucking big head.
I didn't do it. I literally went in both times after both lockdowns with full afro. It was madness. I kind of liked it though.
No, mine grew out and I looked like a fucking rejected member from the Beatles.
Not at the second lockdown because
No, not the second one wasn't so bad.
I remember seeing you, Aspidge, at the door when you came for your first haircut after you'd grown it, and I didn't recognise you.
Yeah.
I was like, "Who's this boy?"
It started popping up on memories, like pictures that I'd taken during lockdown with Katie and that, and my hair was just terrifying. Like the second one, like I said, wasn't so bad because Katie's brother were doing, like when college opened for a bit, he went back and started doing a barbering course. So I was just getting fucking haircut off him when I fancied it.
I slyly looked like Napoleon Dynamite with a shit beard going on.
Bad luck, man.
No, it wasn't bad luck, mate. I was Linda, eat you fat cow.
You just need to walk around Northern Quarter, bro. There's burn Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, to be fair. I'll throw up a picture on screen of me of Napoleon
just fill all
Dynamite.
our lockdown trims up.
Yeah, I'll do just for mine. I'm gonna do Napoleon Dynamite, and then I'll put me, you, and Lewis. You want to join in? Yeah, so I'll put a picture of our lockdown trims on. Stop clocking that gun, you bell end.
Yeah, so like in lockdown, I'd wake up to messages every single day. People like, any chance of a cheeky trim, man? But like, I didn't mind people asking, but it was the people that have never been to the shop, have never had their hair cut by me. They just know I'm a barber.
Just literally send you a barber and just
Message
trying
me,
to look.
And some people would be like, yo, would you reckon you cut my hair today for 15 quid? I'm like, bro, I won't cut your hair in the shop for 15 quid. That's cheeky. I'm not about to do it. Like,
This is really like a quite random question, but or maybe not, maybe random so much, but has there been a depreciation in people coming to the shop since post-lockdown? Maybe not so much because of COVID, but more because they've thought, fuck it, I can do it myself sort of thing.
Or they've just got used to that sort of like longer hairstyle.
Yeah. So I know that some people haven't come back, but like those, you kind of knew who wasn't going to come back. Like they were maybe like, they were getting like proper thin on the top, and like in lockdown they've just shaved their head and gone, this is how it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah.
And then there's the other end where when we first opened the bookings again, people booked in like a bunch of appointments because they were so excited to come back to get their haircut. And then it come to their next haircut after they had the first one, and they've gone, my hair's not that long, because they're so used to their hair being so long that now that every 2 or 3 weeks is like almost rare. Obviously, you still get people like Aspage, who comes every 2 weeks regardless of what is happening. You have a bunch of them people. Yeah. And I'm kind of glad in my chair because being the newest at the barbershop, being the youngest at the barbershop, I kind of attract a younger clientele.
Yeah.
Because I think they just have more in common with me.
Well, you've got that more of a modern sort of style anyway. Because I know Chris is quite an old school like
Chris
style
is
barber.
like, he loves traditional haircuts. Josh is just a mix of the two. Like, Josh is so good. He can just blend between the two. Like, his modern haircuts are amazing. His traditional haircuts are amazing. I don't get to do too many traditional haircuts.
Yours are always quite modern.
They're always quite modern.
You've got that one lad that comes in like every 5 days, don't you?
Oh, man, yeah. He used to be like every single week.
Yeah, he comes in all the time. But I've always wanted to ask you this. He has a sly, like, slit in his eyebrow there. Do you do that for him?
Yeah, well, I'll do, like, we used to line up the eyebrow and the slit on the side of his head, so it looked like one continuous line that went through the eyebrow through the hair. I enjoy doing stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks sick though as well. Like I can guarantee, like at least once every 2 weeks, he pops up on your Insta, and I think that's a fucking good trim. That, to be fair, you've mastered that, mate. Like it always looks phenomenal. Like it always looks phenomenal.
Man, that's the hardest bit of barbering. Like, obviously you've got to get good,
Get good,
and like. You're so nervous when you first start cutting hair, and then when you get to a point where you're happy with your haircuts, you're constantly just going to get better and better anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
But like being consistent is the hardest thing ever. Yeah. It's like being a football player. Sometimes you're on form. Some weeks you might be off form, like, and you're doing haircuts and you're not happy with them. Your client never knows because to them you do the same job every time.
Yeah.
But like the barber inside your head is like, man, that could have been better. Like, what the fuck's up with me this week?
Yeah. I remember, like, when you just first started, I'd come and got my hair cut off you, like, just because I thought,
which I well appreciate.
Help the boys out. And I always thought, like, my hair's quite challenging because it's so thick, but obviously it's dead curly as well, so it's always going to be challenging. And Chris always says that. He's always like, hey, your hair is always fun to cut. Like, once I've got used to it, it's always fun to cut your hair. And, like, I remember I did that, and then, like, if Chris isn't in, I'll come to you and get my hair cut. And like the progression, like not even obviously a lot of progression is to do with like the standard of where it's come from to where it is now. But like just you as like being stood there behind like the barbershop. I remember you were shitting yourself that first time.
Even just like, well, barbering's completely changed me because pre-barbering, I was never socially awkward because in a group I've always been that dude that's like the most talkative, the one that's gonna have a laugh the most, the one that can take a joke the most. But like when it comes to social situations on my own, like going to the shop, or like I'd never go for a pint on my own pre-barbering.
Yeah.
Because it would scare the shit out of me. And now, like, completely changed. And like I absolutely love it. I chat shit all day.
Yeah.
I just chat shit for a living, basically.
Yeah.
Make people laugh, and then like it's transitioned into normal life as well. Because I'll happily like go for some food on my own. I'll go pub on my own, have a pint.
Yeah, and you typically find one of us there as well.
Yeah, and
Most
I'll
likely.
chat to anyone.
Yeah.
So it's properly helped me.
Yeah. I feel the same about dentistry. Like I remember, like when I first started in dentistry, and I was so nervous, and I couldn't say hello to anyone. Like even like back when I remember first getting my haircut at Northwest Barber and met Chris for the first time, absolutely shitting myself.
Going to a new barbershop's weird.
Yeah. Well, I've been at Northwest now for 5 years. So it's like home to me, like in a sense.
It's a clubhouse, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, having that clubhouse vibe for a new person to step into the room that's never been before, I can imagine it's quite intimidating. But like that sounds bad. But as soon as they get comfortable, then it's like good vibes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I had a new dude in the other day, and I kind of like, if I've got a new person in, I'll like weigh them up, like when they're in the room. I'll look what they're wearing. I'll see if they've got any like jewelry on, or I'll sit them down and we have a consultation, which usually, like, if you're new to a shop, they should talk to you for like 5 minutes, and I'll chat shit. But all I'm looking for is like stuff in your hair, so like maybe like a scalp infection, as grim as that sounds. I'm making sure you're clean. And then I'm making sure that I know I'm going to cut your hair. And then we get to the haircut, if you're new. And this guy came in the other day, and I noticed this necklace he was wearing. And I clocked it before he sat in my chair. Gowned him up. He was super nervous. And then, like, I made him feel comfortable straight away. And then I brought the necklace up, and I told him that I knew what the necklace was. And that was it. Boom. He didn't shut up for the entire haircut.
What was the necklace?
It was like a Dungeons and Dragons, like dice, I think.
That's fucking sick.
But I clocked it,
and
I was like, this dude's well nervous. I brought it up, and then he was like super comfortable. He's like, oh, what, you play Dungeons and Dragons? I was like, I don't play it, but I watch my mates play it, and that's it. It like clicked a switch in his head, and he just ran with it, and he didn't shut up the entire